Hello and welcome back to Achieve More. In this video, you are going to learn Power Query and save a lot of your time. First, you will learn how to merge multiple Excel files into one. After merging Excel files, we are going to clean up and transform the data by using Power Query. And finally, we will upload it back into Excel where we will analyze it by using pivot tables. And the best part is none of this requires any coding. So let's get into it. Let's suppose that I own grocery stores in multiple countries. You can see right here that we have three different store data. So our task is to first merge this into one Excel file, then clean it up and finally analyze it. Looking at the first one, you can see that the contact here probably doesn't need the store name right next to it. So we can remove it from here to make our data look cleaner. Also, if we have the price per unit and the unit sold, we can probably calculate a column like the revenue and maybe add a few more column as well. To do this, we are going to close out of this Excel file and let me just open a brand new one. Once that's open, we will go over to data. Then under get data to the side here, we want from file and more specifically, we want a whole folder. So we are gonna go over to from folder. Here I have the store data saved as a separate folder. So I'm just going to be able to open that. And you can see here under this preview that we have got the three Excel files that we want to merge into one. So we are gonna go down toward the bottom where it says combine and select combine and transform the data because we want to make some changes there. Then let's just click over the data and this is where we will be able to preview everything. So this is looking good. I am just gonna hit OK and it will take few seconds to load. Okay, so now this opens up what's known as a Power Query editor. And if we go over to that first column, the source name only, click on that drop down and you can see that we now have all three Excel files into one. Perfect. So let's get started transforming this data. First, we can remove this column. So we are just going to right click here and hit on remove. Then for the contact, we said that we didn't quite need the store name part. So we just want the name. And for this, what we can do here is head over to the transform tab to the side here and then we are gonna go over to extract. Specifically, we want to extract text before a delimiter, which is going to be this sign for us. Anything that's after the sign, we want to remove. So we are just going to put the underscore there and hit enter. Now you can see that we now have only names. Good. If you want to go back on any of these steps, you can actually just go over to the applied steps on the side and if you hover over and click on the previous one, you can see that this goes back. If we click on the latest, you will notice that it changes it to the new one. While we are over here, let's also work on creating a revenue column, which is just going to be the price multiplied by the quantity. So we have got the price per item here and the item sold, which is a quantity. So we will just select both under add column again. We are gonna go over to standard and we want the multiply. That's going to give us the revenue. Let's double click on the top here and rename this something like revenue and just hit enter. Then for the revenue and the price per unit, we can probably change this to currency format. So we just gonna click on the button here on these icons and just change it to currency. The same thing goes with the price per item. Just click on that icon and here it changes that to currency. Now that we have merged and transformed all this data and we like the way it looks, we can go back to Excel by going over to Home and from here just hit close and load. That's going to load it up into an Excel file. So you can see right now that we have this Excel table and if we click on that drop down for retailers, you will see that we have all three showing. So it's merged the Excel file correctly and you can see that the format here all look correct. To analyze it, we can head over to insert and then just click on pivot table. We are okay with this range and we are simply going to hit on OK. And so now we are able to do things like grabbing all these stores and putting them on the rows and then we can go ahead and select the revenue. I could put that under columns And here we can see what that looks like. Suppose we are happy with this, but then we have got new store data to analyze with this existing data. So the problem now is that we have imported all of these, we have changed the format and everything, and yet we have more data set. So we are gonna have to go back, but actually using Power Query, there is a way to work around that. Going back to the computer folder, and you can see that right now we have this fourth one called Alpha Store. We need to see if we can add it over here. All we need to do is go to pivot table analyze and just hit on refresh all. After some seconds, you will notice that we now have the fourth row, which is going to be the alpha store, and which is this one that we just imported. Now the reason for this is because using Power Query, it's just deducting everything that's inside of this folder. And because we added a fourth file to the folder, that's being deducted and accounted for here. If we go over to the store data, click on that drop down, you will see that we have also alpha store in here. Alright, that was it for today's video. If you found this video to be helpful, please hit like and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos on Excel.